Good morning, folks. I am Arashi Neko. I just wanted to talk very quickly, and I do always say that, about people lying. My last video was about the excuses that perpetrators come up with. Predators will say, of course, that they were lured, they didn't want to do it, and the other many excuses they give. And I think that for polite society, for the average citizen, I mean, we understand that criminals lie, but I don't know if people grasp the extent of the lie and how deep the lie goes. I have seen people arrested for crimes that they were caught doing, both eyewitnesses and video evidence, which is exactly what happened to the predators in To Catch a Predator. And even with that type of solid evidence, they'll still come up with, I didn't do it. Now, I didn't mean to do it is the exact same thing as saying I didn't do it. I was lured means I did it, but I'm not responsible. It was not my intent, because I didn't want to. There was an outside force that forced me to do it. Kevin Westerbeck said it was not my intention to have sex. Other perpetrators said, you know what? Right before I walked into the house, I decided not to do it. Other perpetrators would say that, with her? No, not with her. And the question was asked, well, you came here prepared after an explicit chat log, after sending photos of your penis. What do you mean you wouldn't do it? Well, my self-control would have kicked in. Now, these are all lies. These are bold-faced lies. These perpetrators were not crazy. They didn't have a real or imagined demon controlling their actions. You got to look at things in simple terms sometimes to understand a simple problem. The problem is we have an adult who desired sex with a child, and they acted upon that desire, and when caught, they lied. There's not any convincing lie that you can tell in a situation like that, so they told unconvincing lies. It's just like if a person stabs another person and drops the knife, and even though there's blood on the knife, there's a person with a stab wound, and there's blood on the stabber's hand, the perpetrator's hand, the perpetrator will tell the police, oh, I didn't do it. That wasn't even me. I wasn't there. I didn't do it. Folks, that's almost every crime. That's almost every time. It seems ridiculous, but it always happens. Those of you who have children, how many times were your children literally caught with their hands in the cookie jar to say, I didn't do it? And if you press them, well, I you did in front of me. I saw you do it. Why did you do it? I don't know. Well, that little immature voice saying, I don't know, is what happens with the predators. When caught red-handed with their hands in the proverbial cookie jar, they say, I don't know. And that's, their defense. They either lie and say they didn't do it, or they lie and they say, I did it, but I didn't mean to do it, thus relieving them of the responsibility or the intent of doing it. Or when their world completely collapses, they say, I don't know why I did it. All of these are defenses in their own mind. They're legal defenses too, unfortunately. But in the moment, they're a defense. They're a way to remove an intent, I don't know, from your soul. They're a way to remove intent to your own satisfaction. And there's something to say, look, if the situation played out the same, it wouldn't have happened this way. I would have kept going. I wouldn't have come here. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have chatted. If I really thought about it and I really knew that this was a 13-year-old girl, I never would have done it because I have kids of my own, and the excuses, and we've all heard them go on and on. TCap, To Catch a Predator, is almost a study in the excuses that guilty people come up with. And in every case, in every event, the excuses were all lies. Criminals lie, folks. I guess to conclude this, because honestly, I can get on a roll and I can ramble for hours, but I think that one of the reasons why the perpetrators do what they do as far as the lies is so that they can live with themselves, that they can live with their own self within their own little shell. But that is what they do. But one thing we don't have to do is give them an out. We don't have to give them any kind of support in the lies they either tell us or the lies they tell and believe about themselves. If you were guilty of trying to harm a child, then you're guilty of it. You should face that guilt. But if the individual who did it can't face it, we all should face it. And that's what we're doing with the TCAP community. We're facing it, we're talking about it, we're keeping a spotlight on this subject, and we're teaching people to guard their children and look out for the future perpetrators. The Lorne Armstrongs and the Jeff Stacys, the Kevin Westerbecks, these guys are pretty much done. Some of the very well-known predators are dead, but we need to keep the focus and the awareness up. We need to watch for the ones in the future so that we can protect the future. I'm Arashi Neko, and I'm signing out.